Not this year because of COVID-19. You've got to understand that our agricultural show societies only get one go at it every year. And unfortunately this year they won't. But their ongoing costs continue to mount up. So today the federal government is making an announcement of $36 million to support our agricultural show societies around Australia. 26 million of that will go to our rural show societies in each of our capital cities. Right here in Brisbane, the ECA will share approximately around $3 million. The Melbourne show will get around $3 million as well. And the Sydney Royal Easter Show will get $15 million approximately to help them get through COVID-19. This will be a huge impact to them and their bottom line in being able to put on a show next year, to be ready and be bigger and better for 2021. You understand that these capital city shows are so important. They connect the city to the bush. And if we lose them, or they're diminished in the value and the product they put out, then it actually doesn't showcase rural and regional Australia. So it's important the federal government came up today with this money to support capital city shows, but also rural shows. As part of the $36 million, $10 million of it will go to country shows. Those will get grants up to $70,000 to be able to pay for their ongoing costs and expenses that can't be recovered. This is a big investment in them, and that's on top of the $20 million that we put into rural shows for infrastructure, to put in the stands and the watering points that they need to be able to have agricultural shows, to showcase their communities. And that's what this is all about, showcasing your community, showcasing Australia. And Australian Shows Association is no better place to do that for our community. And particularly, we are going to need bigger and better shows next year as we come out of COVID-19. We're going to need to come together as a community, as a nation. And this is the best conduit to do it. And as part of this as well, there's $100,000 to go into the Rural Ambassador Program. This is about bringing young people through, in giving them the confidence to be rural leaders and to connect with the city people that will help drive our economic growth also in regional Australia. So this is a holistic approach to our show societies across Australia, but particularly our big peak shows here in our capital cities, our rural shows in each of our capital cities will be looked after. This is an important investment in them and their future. And I just say to Brendan, the CEO here of the ECA, this is an investment in you. This is a vote of confidence by the Australian.
Look, on behalf of Agricultural Shows of Australia, which is the peak body that represents the 580 shows across the country, we want to thank the federal government, thank the Minister, thank the Deputy Prime Minister for supporting our industry. As the Minister said, we represent 580 shows across the country. We contribute about $1 billion collectively to the Australian economy. We have about 50,000 volunteers annually that take part in these shows, and they really are the lifeblood of regional and rural communities. And in the capital city shows like the ECA, our role in connecting city and country is now more important than ever. So we really want to thank the federal government for this support. What it means to us here at the ECA, and I'm sure to many shows across the country, is that we can confidently commit to hosting and staging our 2021 show. It takes about 12 months to plan for an event of the size of the Royal Show and all shows. And we can start doing that with confidence now because of this support. So once again, I want to thank the federal government on behalf of Agricultural Shows of Australia and all of the 580 shows.
Doubt that the shows will go ahead next year.
Oh, look, of course, with COVID-19, who knows? I mean, the restrictions, this all relies on restrictions of mass gatherings and large events being lifted by the time the shows run. And I guess we don't know that for certain yet, as I'm sure the government doesn't know yet when that will happen. But assuming those number of restrictions are lifted at some point in the future, we will be able to commit to running our large events and shows next year.
Where will this money go, certainly for the ECA? Is it going to farmers, or is it covering costs for you guys? Where's it going?
Well, really what it does, when we host the show, we invest about $2 million a year into our agricultural competitions. And that's through a whole range of costs, including staffing for those competitions, but investing in our grounds. We have fixed overheads like rates, water and insurance, all of those things that we need to run those competitions. So a large chunk Of course, agriculture is the reason why we exist. Connecting country and city is so important, and this funding allows us to be able to start staging the 2021 Echo.
There's been people that have been coming to the show as stewards or as families for decades. Have you spoken to any of them? How are they going?
We have been in contact with them, and obviously when we had to make the hard decision this year to cancel the show, we had engaged a lot with our exhibitors, and there was a lot of disappointment. This is only the third time in our 145-year history that the show has had to be cancelled. So this is a big deal for us to not run this year, but of course we understand why that has to be with COVID-19. So those exhibitors, I'm sure once they hear this and they can start preparing their cattle and their livestock for next year's show, will be absolutely wrapped.
Very good. Good, real good.